Hello and welcome to this live event. I'm doing a live event, it's amazing. YouTube um, on how to make your own website. So, a few things just in the beginning. So, this is not a very visual presentation, it's more sort of a podcast kind of thing. But I want to introduce you to a series of 5 other videos, which I'm going to introduce you to later on here, in which you get a very visual explanation of how to make your own website. This is about 10 hours. It's a bit over 10 hours of instruction videos, tutorials. But let's first establish if this is for you. Are you a local business owner and you want to build a website, or you want to build your own website because you have a passion, etc.? Later on, I will get back to that. Let's first establish that this is for people that are really dedicated enough to pull this through. Are you willing to learn? If you're really a beginner, this is for you. If you're an experienced web builder, this is not so much for you. As you can imagine, you already know how to make your own website. But a very important thing is, don't get discouraged. Now, we all know the internet. There's an information overload down there. And you might get discouraged by things you don't understand. I mean, one of the things, like people give up things because they don't understand. So whatever you do, if you do it as a professional with the dedication to achieve making your own website in this case, you will succeed. It's that simple. There's not a lot of people that drive that home. But all the major players in sports, in whatever, okay, there is a certain aspect called talent in a website that's like design, etc. But if you really learn the rules and learn the ropes of the business of building your own website, you will build your own website. It's that simple. But you know what? It takes some time. When you were a kid and you started riding your bike, you didn't ride your bike in 5 minutes. I just want to sort of point that out. You have to invest some time in achieving this. But if you do invest the time and you want to learn by looking over someone's shoulder, because these tutorials that I mentioned before are literally looking over someone's shoulder, then you will learn. But the thing is, many of the videos that you see on YouTube on how to make your website, they are very technical, and they start off, like showing an environment. But the one thing that is missing is the goal or the purpose of your website, and that's why the first thing, which I think is very important in building your own website, is why don't you make a drawing just on paper? Like, how do you want your website to look? It's important for you to sort of have some framework where you can work with, so you know what you develop a website to. Like, does it have to be a website with a lot of visuals, or is it a website which has to stay very simple, or is it a website that you built because you have a restaurant, so it has to have a menu, etc., etc. So the main thing, and that's why I made this introduction video before we go into all the technicalities of part 2 to 6, is why don't you, before you start that, make a drawing and see what you want to have in there. Now, later on in the video, I'm going to point out to you some possibilities that you can use to make this drawing. But I just want to point out first, like, as a separate thing. Like start putting something on paper. You can also, of course, try to make it in some drawing program or whatever. But the best thing is to, like just make a sort of a mock-up of what you want your site to look like. I'm not talking about colors. I'm not talking about these kind of things, like, or specific design things. I'm talking about, okay, what does it need to have? Does it need to have a blog on your front page? Does it have to mention that you have a blog, etc.? What do you want on there? Do you want to build a list? So you will have to have something that people can enter their data in on the front page, etc. So that's the first step. You basically make a drawing. Yeah. Now, the process of drawing out your website on paper is basically like it's a building game. You have building blocks, as I just mentioned. For instance, if you want to collect names from people, let's say you make 3 columns with blocks, or 2 columns with blocks, or 1 column with blocks. You see, that's what I mean. So it's building blocks, and I'm going to show you later on how these building blocks might look like. And especially in the technical part of the videos, part 2 to 6. You will, by the way, these are not online yet. I will put them online as soon as this live event is over, so that you don't get distracted, because I will probably show you some pieces of the description of these videos. So yeah, anyway, then if you have made this mock-up of what you want your website to look like, then you have some decisions to make. I don't know how much you know about building a website, like if you're totally, utterly green on the subject. There's many ways that you can build a website. There's a site like Wix, for instance, where you can, grab these building blocks and build your website. There is all kinds of content management systems, as they call them. And one of them is WordPress, which you might have heard of, and which I personally prefer. There's all kinds of possibilities, there's a gazillion website builders, etc. Online. The thing is, okay, if you want to build a website for just the hell of it, and you have no further purpose with it, you might try to find something which is free or cheap or whatever. But I have to tell you one thing, even builders like Wix cost money, even though they say it's free. It's not free. That's why I prefer WordPress, because it's very versatile. It's not free. The system WordPress itself is free, but you have to host your site somewhere. You have to put it somewhere on a server, and that costs some money. And of course, then you also need a domain name, because you have your own address on the web, so where you have to put your WordPress website. Now, just as a note, there's WordPress.com and WordPress.org. WordPress.com is free. WordPress.org is also free to install, but you have to host it somewhere else, and that costs some money. However, WordPress.org has a lot of possibilities. If you want to have a website that looks professional and you want to have control over it, then WordPress.org is the way to go. Now, the next thing is you decide whether you go with a website builder which is free, and again, they're not free because they charge you some money afterwards, or do you go with WordPress.org and you have to buy a domain name and you have to buy some hosting. So your next question is, are you willing to spend approximately $200 and invest the time to build your website. Okay, so I gave you some seconds, but that's really what it's all about. Now, okay, fine. So let's continue. What is the goal of your website, and what kind of website do you want to build? I already mentioned, do you want to build a restaurant website, local business, affiliate website, etc.? It's important to know, by the way, that if you want to buy an affiliate website, that you have to abide by the rules of the FTC, which is an organization in the United States which protects customers from, all kinds of stuff. If you want to know what FTC is, just Google it. I'm not going into it here. It's just important that you know that there is such a thing. The tools of the trade when you start building with WordPress, because the rest of this whole video event, whatever, is going to be about WordPress, which is a free content management system. WordPress.org is a very complex and not very user-friendly site if you're a beginner. That's why I make these videos, and that's why other people made videos, like instructional videos, tutorial videos. Because WordPress.org is really more a platform which is used by web developers and people that know their shit, if I can say it like that. Now there is, and I'm going to mention it just in passing here, but I'm going to go into it way deeper later on. There is a company called Elegant Themes, which is very user-friendly and has a very fast support forum and all kinds of other possibilities, which is a company that sells WordPress themes. Like I was speaking about these building blocks. Well, you have themes which are basically pre-programmed to give you a certain structure in a website. And that's probably the easiest way to say it. And this company is it's a very professional company. It has pretty much like 200,000 customers or something. It's one of the biggest companies online. And they have a very cheap subscription model, which I recommend personally to use because you get a lot of support with it. It's only $69 or $89 a year. And then you get all the help you can get. And basically, I personally would advise you to take the $89 per year subscription, because then you'll get a lot of other stuff as well with it. I won't go too technical on you now, but then there's also a lifetime subscription. But if you're beginning, don't buy that. Like first see if this is working for you. Now, the website itself, and again, I'm not talking about technical stuff here right now. I'm talking about, do you write your own stuff? Your website needs content. What kind of content? About your passion, or if you're, for instance, if you're a restaurant, okay, fine. Like you write your content once. You can even have it written by a writer in your own language, and tweak it a bit how you want it. The website is getting built, and that's it. Your website is done, and that's it. Maybe you have sometimes some things that you put on a website once a week or once a month, like changes in the menu, whatever, but there's not a lot of work after that. Now, you can also get it written, for instance, if you use a company like iWriter.com, that's iWriter.com. There's all kinds of writers there that can write your stuff for very cheap. The quality sometimes sucks, especially when you buy the very cheap content. But if you get into content which you pay a bit more for, which is about, when I say a bit more, like it's like $10 a piece or something, then you can get pretty high quality stuff. My personal experience is it's better to write it yourself. But if you absolutely can't write or have a problem writing, then you might go for that solution. So, how much content do you need? Well, like in the beginning, you just start. One of the main things of people not starting to build their own website is they look at it as this big, this big chunk of things that need to be done, and they basically picture the end result, and then they see what has to be done in the middle, and then somewhere they just get stuck. It's a process, like, we all now and then take a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and you go through the steps, and the end result is you have a cup of coffee or you have a cup of tea. It's that simple. With the websites, it's the same. The only thing is the steps are a bit more involved, meaning there's more time involved. That's about the writing of the stuff. That takes some time. I would just start, and you will just increase your website. If you are, for instance, not a local business, but you want to have a blog, you just write and you keep writing, and etc. And then the technical stuff is for you in videos 2 to 6. If you know how to write, that's not going to be a problem. So then your problem might be the technical part of the whole thing. Well, that is explained in videos 2 to 6, which, by the way, the links to these videos will of course be down in the description after the live event is over. Then there is images. Now you deal with copyrights. You can't just grab any image. So I just want to mention some tools so you can see that this can help you, and this might not be a total problem to get your website going. There is something called paint.net. If you use Photoshop, okay, you use Photoshop and you already know how to do it, but then you probably also already know how to build a website. So I don't think a lot of people that are listening and watching here use Photoshop. But then paint.net is a free graphics program, which is very simple to use. Again, you can just go on YouTube and just type in paint.net tutorial, and again, it's very simple. It's a very simple thing. Another thing that you can use for your images is a website called Canva. And Canva also has a design school. If you go to designschool.canva.com, they will also basically teach you how you can design stuff. Then there's a website called Wordle. Wordle is a very funny kind of program that you just dump a lot of words in it, and it creates a graphic from the wording. And you can change the colors, and you can have it done automatically, and there's all kinds of things that you can do on Wordle. Then there's you can make mockups with magicmockups.com, which is a very nice website where you can just make nice looking stuff. It's very simple. It's also not very elaborate, meaning there's not a lot, but what is there is very usable. So that is basically the first part of this live event. We will go over to the more technical stuff now, meaning I'm going to explain you what we made for you and how you can use it. But I wanted to basically point all these things out that I just mentioned, to not just jump into the whole technical part of the thing and overwhelm you with 10 hours of videos. I want to now, in part 2, explain you what this 10 hours of videos is made up of, and how you should use it to your benefit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a sip of my coffee now. I brought some, 1 second. And then we go into the second part. And for the second part, I'm going to share my screen, as you can see, because I'm gonna just glance through the other 5 videos, the technical videos really. And we start with part 2, and you see there how to make your own website, part 2, divi theme basics. The divi theme. This is a extremely versatile theme with its own drag and drop builder. It's very popular. It's from Elegant Themes. If you want to know more about the theme, you will find a link below the video to our website where we basically explain a bit more about it. But with these 5 videos that I'm going to take you through now, I'm not going to show you the video, but I'm just going to show you the index so you have an idea of what is in there and what you can do to build your website. As I said before, you have to make a drawing of your website, and of course it's nice to know what you can draw to make your website. Now, first the basics. As you can see here, installing your theme. Here, I went over this before, like you need a domain name, you need hosting. And then on your host, you will install WordPress, which is basically a one-click process, and you have to fill out some data, like your email address and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going through that here. If you want to know more, you can just Google it, and you will find a lot of tutorials on how to do that. It's very simple. It's super simple. Then you will install your theme, and that's the divi theme. And there's it's a 1.5 minute video. It's very simple. Again, so then how to update the internet. There's always some people that try to get into your site, and so, or themes develop, there's more features coming to it, so then you want to update, and there's a part of the video which goes into how to update your Elegant Themes theme. Then there's the next one is an overview of the divi builder. The divi builder is, as I said before, a drag and drop builder. So, but there's an enormous amount of features. There's enormous amounts of possibilities that you can do to build your website, and it's all drag and drop, so it's very simple. And basically all these videos, especially video number 3, which goes over modules, which I will show you soon, is what makes this theme so incredible to work with. Then you have a piece about pre-made layouts. You have a part of the video, actually a big part of the video, is about the divi library. So if you build a part of your website and you want to save that part so you can use it later somewhere else, there's all kinds of possibilities here, so you don't have to build it again and again and again. And so therefore you have the library. Then there is the theme and module customizer. I won't go into that too deep, but you can adjust the theme in all kinds of ways. Like you can, color-wise, font-wise, etc., etc. Then there's theme options, divi sections. There are sections that you can adjust. Then there's divi rows and row settings. So basically you have columns and rows. That's more simple. I cannot say it more simple than that. And here this part of the video goes into the rows and the row settings. Then there is something which is in the basics video but is a bit more advanced. That is advanced design settings and custom CSS. CSS is basically a style sheet, so it's a style that you give to your theme website, and you customize it. So you override, basically, with that style sheet, you override the actual theme. Anyway, don't bother with it. As soon as you start learning more about how to build your own website, you will find out what you can do with this. And then there's a role editor, and there is right-click controls, and that is basically in building your website very handy to know. Then let's go into the next video, which is the longest, which is more than 5 hours. Now, you have to understand that when I say 5 hours, it doesn't mean that you have to watch 5 hours of videos to build your website. This is just, like certain areas of expertise which you can use, and then when you want to build something like that, a specific piece of your website, you just go to that part of the video. And as you see here, this is the description in YouTube. You can just click on the timestamp, and then now I'm in edit mode, so that doesn't work. But if you look at the video, you can actually click here, and it will take you exactly to that part of the video. So the possibilities are pretty much endless. This is 5 hours of possibilities. It's a lot. So you can, for instance, use a blurb module, which is basically something that you highlight, some text or whatever, then you can have a slider, and you can see here at 8:52 the slider module starts, and at 36:12 the next starts. So this is quite an extensive video about what you can do with sliders, and that's a lot. You can do a lot. Then if you want to have a pricing table on your website, you can watch that video. And again, this is what I mean. If you don't have any pricing on your website, you just don't have to watch this piece of the video, you see. Then there is a testimonial module, a call to action module, an image module, so what you can do with images. Then there is a sidebar module, what you can do with the sidebar, how you can adjust it, how you can customize it. A portfolio module to showcase your stuff. Then there is the blog module. If you want to have a blog, you can do all kinds of things with the blog. Then there's bar counters, email opt-in. So this builder also has an email opt-in function that you can use, which means that you wouldn't have to use any other plugin. I didn't use this word, I think, before, plugin, but WordPress has little pieces of technology which you can just drop in there, and then that functionality, that's the better word, the functionality is basically added to your website. So when you see a website and it asks you for your email address and your name, usually that is done by using a plugin. Now, that's already in this theme, so you don't need another plugin, basically. Then there's the text module, all the things you can do with text, toggle, and tabs. If you don't know what toggle is and what tabs is, I advise you just, these videos are pretty short, so it will explain you what these things can do for you. The contact form, if you want to have somebody contact you and you want to have a specific form made with specific questions, that can all be done with this theme. Then there is the full width header module. If you want, you see this many times, that there is this big picture, in the beginning, the full screen thing. So that's dealt with in the full width header module. Then you have a filterable portfolio module, which is a bit different than the portfolio I just showed you. Then audio, you can actually take an audio excerpt and put it on your website, or when you're a musician, you can actually, use this theme and put your audio on the website. You have the map module, which is a Google Maps module. You can basically put a Google Maps module on your website. Like, people want to know where you are, how to find you. It can all be done. Then there's the social follow module. So for your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. The person module, you see this many times on the website, where, the personnel of the company is introduced, with a picture and some text, etc. That's the person module. The countdown timer, if you want to create some urgency on an offer that you're giving, there's a whole module which goes into that. It's only a 5-minute video, so just check it out. Circle counter, you see that sometimes, where there's percentages or amounts of things, and then there's this nice circle that sort of lights up. Anyway, just check it out. Then there's the number counter. Accordion, if you don't know what accordion is, go and check it out. It's basically something that folds and unfolds. The login module, if you want to have certain stuff protected by a login, then there is the divi builder login module. The builder full width menu module, also, special menu module, which explains everything about that. Then there's the shop module. If you want to build a shop, you can. And here you go, shop module. Divider module, you sometimes see this, like a light line in the middle, or some very nice designed line with some curly things and whatever. The divider module is dealing with all that. And then you have the video module. If you want to use video, you can also use video sliders. So you can have a slider with video. And the code module, okay. If you're beginning, you're not going to use that a lot, but you can add specific coding to your website when you use Divi. The title module, this is, you can make some very nice titles on your blog, for instance, or on your pages. Then you have the post slider. You see that sometimes on the beginning, the front page, where you see all kinds of posts sliding by. Or you can click on it and you can, scroll through the posts of the website. That's a specific module that you can drop in this website. Commands, you can change commands, you can change color of commands, you can change fonts of commands, etc., etc. It's all dealt with in this about 8-minute video. Then there is the post navigation. It speaks for itself. The button module, you can do all kinds of things with buttons. And there is the search module. Now that is part number 3. And that's a bit a longer video, but it gives you an idea of the things you can do with this theme. So let's go to the next. That is part 4. There is more here on the library. It's only 4 parts, but it's quite long parts. I'm not going into detail here because that would be a bit over your head, but as soon as you got the basics a bit going, then you can check it. For instance, using and creating library items, etc., or global modules, meaning you want some specific piece of your website to occur on all the pages. And then when you use global modules, it makes it very easy. Anyway, importing, exporting, etc. Then there is number 5, and that is totally it's totally dedicated to the theme and customizer. So how you can customize things, meaning how you can customize the header, the layout, mobile styles. Of course, it's very important these days. How you can customize modules and how you can customize buttons. Anyway, it's I think the shortest video is part 5, or part 6 is maybe even shorter. These are way shorter than part 3, that's for sure. And here you have some more features, like additional features, custom logo. You have your own logo, of course, so you want to make sure that your logo appears on your website. Well, actually, if you have the picture, if you have the logo, you just take it, you drop it somewhere in a specific place. In this very short video, it's like only 1 minute, shows you how to do that. Then how you can create portfolio projects, how you can create mega menus, these menus where you click on something in the menu and then another menu appears, and you click on something and another menu appears. You can create these in Divi. Usually you don't use them so much in especially when you're beginning, because you simply don't have so much topics. But some websites have a lot of topics, and then a lot of subtopics, etc. And if you want to have mega menus in Divi, you just watch this very short video. Then there's blog post formats, speaks for itself. Then if you want to translate, for instance, you're Russian or you're Hungarian or you're Spanish, then there's a very short video which explains exactly what you need to do to how to translate your theme. Many of these translations are already in the theme. You just have to pull them up and dump them in. And this is the video that the part of the video that explains this feature. Then there's blank pages that you can use. And you also can create single-page websites. Single-page websites are, just you see one page, but you can click through somehow. If you have the menu and it says who we are, then who we are is on the page. But when you click on who we are, the web page just scrolls to that section. And they are very popular actually right now. So single-page websites. It's a very short part of the video also, and you can check that out. And then there is the leads split testing, especially when you are selling stuff. You want to know, like if you change something on your website, does that improve or does it not improve your results? So with the split testing, and that's actually a bit longer video, you can change all kinds of things. So for instance, you have two headers, and some people arrive at your web page with that specific header, and there's a second header and other people arrive on that, and then you can define all kinds of things to see what happens when person A sees website A and person B, sorry, I need to take a sip of my coffee, sorry. And person B sees website B. What do they do? How long are they staying on the site? Do they click through more, etc., etc.? There's a whole video on, how to deal with split testing. Okay, so those are the videos. Those are the subjects of the videos. So what's next? Because I want to close off here. I don't want to make it too long. I'm already pretty long, actually. So, as I said in the beginning, you have to decide whether you're in for the long haul or not. Are you going to do this or are you not going to do this? With these videos, I can tell you, and you can, after this event is over, I'm going to put the other videos online, meaning I activate them because they are already online. And then you can just scroll through and watch through and see how simple these things are and how easy it is to follow these things. But it takes time. So just go through, look at it, and then decide, is this for you or is this not for you? And if this is for you, check also our special offer, which is below the video, the link to the special offer. Check it out, do some research if you want. But I can tell you, I am online now for about 6 years. And if you want to build a website and you want it to last, meaning you don't want it to be something that you do now and then, okay, fine, in a year, forget it, then I really advise you to go with WordPress, and I really advise you to go with elegant themes. Sure. I just need to take a sip again. I'm talking too much. Okay, so that's what I really advise. You can find more on our website, WordPressexamples.com. We start a new website, by the way, soon, which is going to be wpwebbuilding.com. Keep an eye out for that. It's not live right now, not yet. But just if you really have something that you want to promote, either it's your business, it's the thing you just absolutely love, or you want to sell some stuff online, or you want to be an affiliate for some program or some company, and you want to build your own websites, hey, it takes time and it takes a little bit of money. But we're here to help you. Last but not least, I want to also mention that the tutorials, most of the tutorials that you see and that I just showed you in the videos, are courtesy of Roach, who is the CEO of Elegant Themes based in San Francisco. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, that's about it. I think we should close off now. Just click the link below the video and check out the website also. Go through. There's also some very nice web tools that you can use on the website. There's all kinds of things that are basically made for you. And very last, but very not least, I just want to mention that when you click through the links on our videos and you decide to buy Elegant Themes, we actually get a commission, which is very good because that's how we can spend all the time making these videos and preparing the videos and keeping the website up. Just that you know, it would also be very much appreciated if you would use these links, because it just, you know, like makes it possible for us to do these things. So thanks for listening, watching, and yeah, this was about it. If you have any questions, you can leave them below the video in YouTube. You can also, below the video is also a link to our Facebook page. You can also ask questions there. We usually answer within an hour. There's also, if you decide to go with Elegant Themes, there's also on Facebook a huge group of users, which is about 12,000 now, 12,000 users. If you ask questions there, you usually get answers within minutes, like literally within minutes. I mean, if you build a website and you run into something and you have a problem and you have to wait 24 hours, you can imagine that's not really going to be very good for your drive to continue and work with it, especially in the beginning when you have a lot of questions. So it's very good. I'll probably put a link to that also below the video, and otherwise you can find it on our website, or ask us for, you know, for the address on our Facebook page, and we'll just give it to you. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. I'm gonna finish my coffee and then I'm gonna put some videos online. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Do very well. I really hope that you understood what I was trying to say here to you on how to accomplish to really make your website your own, meaning it's something from you, and there's a lot of possibilities to make your own website, and I hope you succeed. And as I said before, if you really dig in and you really follow the instructions in the videos, no way in hell that you're not going to succeed. It's that simple, you know. It's really you. It's like you do it or you don't. Yeah, and I hope you do. Okay, so I'm going to close off. I've been talking way too long already. And yeah, check out the videos, yeah? Okay?